125,600 minutes. I hate that song so much, but it does perfectly describe the amount of minutes that have passed since we started this wonderful show. Since it's birthed itself, is what you specifically said at the beginning, Doug.
Our show was birthed into the world exactly not exactly 1 year as of this recording, but...
I'm pretty sure it's exactly 1 year as of today, since we're recording on Saturday, November 17th.
Was it the 17th?
Yeah, that 17th was the day that the first episode came out.
Well, then as of this recording, it is exactly 1 year.
So hardy, hardy, har.
Hardy, hardy, har.
The main point is I hate that song, and I'm sorry to hurt everybody.
If there's
words.
one takeaway that you can take from this show today, is that Jack absolutely hates that song from the musical Rent.
No, I love the musical Rent. I hate that song.
I think said from the musical Rent.
I know. Oh, from the musical. Yeah. I just want to make it clear that I like that musical a lot, except I hate that song, and I hate how popular it is. Because I don't get it. I don't get why it's so good. Ugh. And I don't even know if I got the number right at the beginning. Anyways, this is Comics Covered for the week of November 14, 2018, episode 51, the 1 year anniversary. And other than talking about musicals that we like or hate or love, we talk about comic books in the world around them, and the comics industry, the movies, the TV, and the games. We talk spoilers about our weekly comics, and we'll warn you about them. I'm Jack. I'm about a year into my comics age, my comics life.
You're
now.
A 1 year old comic book baby boy.
Yes. I remember sending you a picture at the beginning of the show, or sharing a picture on social media showing how many comics I just got, and what large amount of comics I have. And it's grown so much. It's insane.
This week was quite a week.
Oh yeah, this week specifically. I'm just talking about in general. I have just boxes upon boxes now. It's insane.
I know. I'm just in general. Yeah, it gets to be a thing. But yeah, also just as a note. Yeah, this week was ridiculous.
So who are you?
Who the hell are you? I'm Doug. I'm the guy what got Jack to read some comics.
What got?
Yeah.
Who got?
I'm that man what got you to read the comic books about the
that.
Men in Tights, Robin Hood. And my name is Doug. Did I say my name?
Yeah, you did. You also told us
there
that
it is
you wore
again.
tights.
In case you didn't hear it the first time, my name is Doug.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here with my co-host Jack, who said his name already.
Yes.
We're off to just a great start here.
We've learned a lot about what's interesting and exciting to the audience in the course of this year. It's been great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jack, we've got an exciting announcement for
yes, we do.
The end of this show. So last week.
Oh gosh.
Why don't you tell them about the contest that we have been running?
Yeah, we last week we announced for our 50th episode / our year, which because those are very close together due to our weekly format. We wanted to do a contest to send out a book, a trade paperback book for free, a book that Doug and I both enjoyed as we were reading it ongoing. Wins by Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw and Antonia Fabella. Mm-hmm. So we set out a post and we asked you all to share it and to retweet it and to put it all over the place. But, and we got many people, many contestants, a bit. You can see how many we got. So, whatever. It's good. We got people to do it and we're happy you did it. But we're going to announce that contest winner at the end. We had a hat beforehand. We didn't have a hat, but we did randomly pick someone already, and we will be announcing that after the show, or not after the show, at the end of the show.
In our wrap up section.
In our wrap up, right before the wrap up section, but in the wrap up section nonetheless. So stay tuned for that. And we're going to talk about other things like news highlights and maybe what this podcast is going to do in the coming years. Because
we're going to plan it all out.
I mean, no, we're not going to plan it all out, but we've talked already about what we want to do. So, I don't know, do you want to keep trying in the future, in the near future?
You cut out there for a second. What did you say?
Oh, I was just saying, do you want to tell them, like, what we might be planning in the near future?
We have not solidified those plans, so no.
Okay, we're not solidified on those plans. I think the basic idea is that we're going to rework some of the format still. We've been doing that a bit, but, you know, we like doing new things, doing different ideas, and we want you all to stay tuned with us as we do different things with this show and make it more accessible, less accessible. I'm just kidding. But no, we're really, really excited for the coming years. So, yeah, if there's nothing else, Doug, we can go on into our weekly news.
Cool. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get a little bit more low-key. Not low-key, just a little less excited because we did have a very sad thing happen. Stan Lee, who was 95 years old, passed this week. What was it, Sunday last week or Monday? I think Monday.
This was on the 12th, so whatever day that was.
I think that was Monday. I think Monday. But yeah, I mean, him being such a influential force in comics in general, and in the recent past too, like just his like appearance, his story that's been happening, like everyone knows who Stan Lee is. And it's just a shame, even though he did have a very long and full life. And it's great to hear stories about how just really cool as a person he was. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, social media in general has been like just full of people sharing their Stan Lee experiences and just kind of, reiterating that like he really was just like the absolute, just most genuine, nice guy, and that like he's just the most charismatic, like, figurehead the industry could have asked for.
Yeah. And I'm glad we talked about, I think we talked about this a little bit on a previous episode, but like, he was really, more so than anything, he was great at promoting everything. You know, like he had the catchphrases that people could latch on to. His writing style, like when he was writing about comics, I think was really, really amazing, and how he created suspense in a marketing sort of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he started his, one of the hallmarks of his books was he had his column, his monthly comics column called Stan's Soapbox, which was basically he would write about kind of comics in the industry or answer questions or whatever. And that's where the phrase Excelsior that he always uses, his catchphrase kind of thing, and also him calling Marvel fans true believers, all that stuff comes from that. And so he kind of like really championed this very like direct, like talking to the fans, like creating this relationship with the fans kind of approach to the industry. I think that kind of attitude has led to a lot of how media companies deal with their fans today, and how fans are very forefront, for better or worse, I'd say. But like how like it's his approach has been incredibly influential. In I
also heard that Excelsior, he started saying Excelsior because people over at DC started saying the catchphrases he would use. So he just decided to use a word that they wouldn't know how to use.
Excelsior. God. Yeah. It's incredibly sad. Like he was involved in the creation of so many classic characters and properties, that are still relevant and important in the industry today.
Which is insane because of how old when they were created, you know?
Yeah. Like, when, I'm not sure when, like, Fantastic Four came out, but, like, what would that have been? 60s-ish? Yeah.
Yeah, 60s.
Yeah, 61. November 61 was Fantastic Four, which was one of his kind of I think it was his first big superhero book. But
really? I did not know that was the first one. Spider-Man isn't before that?
No. I'm not sure.
All right. No, it's okay. I didn't realize Fantastic Four were older than a lot of those ones.
Fantastic Four, they have the nickname Marvel's First Family, which is like a literal name, a nickname, because they are basically the first characters in the shared Marvel universe. Technically, in terms of Marvel comics, like Captain America was around before that, but Captain America was not created at Marvel Comics. He was absorbed into Marvel.
Okay.
So like there's weird stuff like that because they've all picked up a million characters, but
totally.
Yep.
Now wait a minute. So I always thought Marvel's First Family referred to, like, you know how like the first family is like the president's family. I think
it's kind of both. Like it has kind of multiple meanings depending on how you want to read it, but there is a literal aspect to it.
Wow. Okay. Very interesting.
Yeah.
But of course that's really sad. We I don't know. I think I heard he had some cameos in the future already filmed. So
yeah. He at least already had his cameo for Avengers 4 already filmed. I'm curious to see if they go forward with some of that stuff. Since he's died, I'm willing to bet they do at least that one. But I'm not sure. Yeah, because they had said a while back that they like filmed a bunch of his next few appearances like in advance.
Yeah.
A while back, and I'm curious if there are still more left over that they're planning on using, or if this changes anything.
I mean, I would think that you'd be able to do that pretty easily. Just have like him like interact with some sort of side characters that they can cut to in the crowd or something. You know, it's pretty easy to put that in there and do that in advance.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying like it would be difficult. I just more mean the morality of it. But,
I mean, if anybody would be down for that, don't you think Stan Lee would?
I don't think it's really that much of a problem. Like, he filmed them. They're not, like, CGI-ing him in. Like, if anything, yeah, he would want those to get out there.
Oh, God, I hope they don't ever do that. Like, CGI him in.
Yeah. Anyways, did I ever mention to you that he had a cameo in the Spider-Man game for PS4?
Oh, I think I knew about that independent of you telling me. What was it?
Do you want me to tell you? It's not, it's a Stan Lee cameo.
It might be nice for me to actually see it though. We, Samantha and I were actually just talking about, cause we're going to get a PS4 soon. I'm so excited. And they have a bundle going out for Black Friday. That's like $199 with the game and a controller. So
nice.
I'm totally getting on that.
Which model is it?
1 terabyte.
But is that a base PS4 or is that
I think it's a base PS4, not a Pro.
Okay. Cool. Anyways, yeah, Stan Lee's contributions to the industry are enormous, and it was time for him to go. Like,
yeah,
his health was in very poor shape, and he was very old.
Yeah.
But yeah, still sad to see him go, and it's a good opportunity to reflect on how important he was.
Totally.
Alongside his coworkers.
Definitely.
And how much they did. So
for sure. But into different news, we had some exciting news this week. Black Hammer, the series by Jeff Lemire, and Dean Ormston, is that his name? But yes. I guess it's all of Black Hammer, so it's not just Dean Ormston, because a lot of people do the art.
Yeah, it's kind of, well, I mean, the series, created by
Jeff Lemire.
Jeff Lemire and Dean Ormston, but then, there's been a number of spin-offs. So it kind of, Jeff Lemire's collective Black Hammer universe.
We'll just say Jeff Lemire as a property. was picked up by Legendary Picture TV deal. So that's pretty exciting. I can't imagine them messing something like that up, but I guess they can. I mean, we'll see. They have him apparently picked to like adapt these, so that's pretty nice. I mean, movies and TV, like, they must be planning to do like everything then, because there's not that much. You know, there's a lot, but there's not like that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, granted, by the time this actually enters production, because it'll probably be a little while, like maybe there'll be a ton more, because they keep doing new series. I'm not complaining at all. It's just like Dark Horse has just really leaned into the Black Hammer end of things. But
I mean, it's great. They have what is it? I think the one coming out in December is Cthulhuese.
Yeah.
Off of Sherlock Frankenstein, right? Which I haven't read yet.
Yes, it is a spin-off of a minor character from Sherlock Frankenstein and the Legion of Evil. She's the daughter of a former supervillain.
Okay. I mean, I'm super pumped. I need to read the Sherlock Frankenstein and the Legion of Evil so I can get on that, because everything else has just been so great, including Quantum Age, which had a new issue this week, but unfortunately Doug wasn't able to read it.
Oh, yeah. My week has been an absolute nightmare this week.
I know.
So
Oh yeah, what happened?
I'll just explain what happened. So, I work for the Timberwolves. We had a very long stretch of games this weekend. A big theme night. We had Prince Night this week. And anyways, it was quite a bit of work making it happen, but happy with how it turned out.
Nice.
But I've been at work until very late the last few days, so I have not been able to read many of my books. But if we want to transition into our weekly comics,
there's a lot.
We can talk about the ones I did.
Yes, I guided Doug in the direction of talking about the ones I want to focus on. So,
you gave me a literal list of priorities, a numbered list of priorities. I got through 4.
Did it help or not?
It helped. I got through 4 of them, although I'm not sure. I had already read Superman, so I'm not sure how Superman would have fit into that list, but that was the first one I read.
I didn't. Yeah. I mean, we'll go into it. I'm excited. So we're going to go into weekly comics.
Okay.
Cool. Doug, do you want to list off the comics that we have?
Sure. The comics that we both read are Avengers. It's technically number 10, but they're doing...
I know.
But the legacy numbering is 700, so they did a crazy oversized 700 celebration issue. So 10 or 700, depending. Take your pick. Bitter Root, number 1. Cemetery Beach, number 3. Cosmic Ghost Rider, number 5. Fantastic Four, number 3. Gideon Falls, number 8. 1975 or MCM LXXV, number 3. Mr. Miracle, number 12. Superman, number 5. The Quantum Age, number 4. And Venom, number 9.
So much.
And then you read a couple on your own?
Oh yeah, I also read Skyward number 8 and Oblivion Song number 9.
Cool. I also picked up Wonder Woman number 58 and I have not read any of these.
Oh yeah, new creative team on that,
new creative team on Wonder Woman. It's G. Willow Wilson, who became a big name in the industry for writing Ms. Marvel over at Marvel.
By the way, we're gonna need to talk about Miss Marvel sometime, because I don't know what the difference is between her and Captain Marvel. Or is there one?
I can explain it later.
Okay.
So, Wonder Woman number 58, The Amazing Spider-Man number 9. And Detective Comics. Oh, sorry, 2 more. Detective Comics number 992 and Captain America number 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are those.
Very nice. What the G. Willow Wilson, I always feel like when you say that name, I thought of like, golly gee, like G. Willow Wilson. Like someone saying that in like a gosh darn it. You know what I mean? So,
that's very funny. Yes.
That's my way of making fun of that
Gee
name.
Willikers, Willow Wilson.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yep.
But in any case, Doug, can you give a spoiler warning?
Yes, I can. We've warned you. There are going to be spoilers. Am I supposed to make the sound now? You've thrown me off.
No, I guess it's creator's choice. Oh, look at you! Good job.
It feels wrong. Feels like that's
whatever.
your thing.
Hey, I'm all about feeling wrong.
Okay.
Sorry. That's our spoiler warning. We're going to talk some specifics, specifically about Mr. Miracle, Superman, Comics of Ghost Rider, and Avengers.
You sounded like you got angry at Mr. Miracle there.
I mean, I'm angry that it's done, but I have an interesting end. Like, I have an interesting idea about what's going on, but I want to know, like, what you thought, because I got through this issue and I had a different idea about it than I guess a lot of people did. But I want to hear what you thought.
I mean, okay, so end of last issue. So this series has been about Scott-Free, Mr. Miracle, and his wife Big Barda, and they had a kid over the course of the series, and basically the series is like them struggling to like have their normal life while also being basically these gods of this other planet on the other end of the universe. And the cliffhanger at the end of the last issue, after they had a big confrontation with Darkseid, who is like Scott-Free's not dad, but kind of ex-dad. They have a whole weird relationship.
Yeah.
They like had a big fight with him, defeated him, and we had this revelation that Metron came in. He's another New Gods character, and told him that like this has all been a test, and there are more worlds than these, and like showed him basically a vision of, because we've been questioning whether or not this took place in regular continuity because a lot of stuff didn't match up, and showed him basically a vision of the regular DC universe. So that was kind of where we left it. And so then this issue, this is totally beside the point, but I want to talk about this first page at some point. It is Cameo City. So
Totally.
But so basically this issue is, it's just them going about their lives. They've gone back to normal, and they're living their lives. They're going between being at home with their son and being on Apocalypse and fighting the hordes of Darkseid. And Scott-Free is having visions of different dead people from his life, who are like basically giving him different explanations for like, oh, so you're crazy and all of this is fake, or you're dead and this is hell, or you're dead and this is heaven, or I'm not sure what the other ones are, but I don't remember. But Oberon, his old friend, what does he tell him? Just kind of that they've
what?
I don't know, escaped somehow. Anyways.
That he can't escape? Sorry. That he can't, he's saying that he can't escape. Like, what is it? It'll break your heart that you can't escape, but if you're good, if you stay good, you'll know there's someone out there who will help you put it back together.
Yeah.
So he's alluding to Big Barda.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so it's kind of a big swerve after the end of the last issue where you're like, oh, we're going to like get answers here and we're going to figure out like why this is, but that's totally so beside the point.
Yeah.
For this series, like this series has not been about like
uncovering a mystery, really.
Yeah, it's not a mystery. It's not about the like, what is the secret of like how this is related to regular continuity. And, but like this issue actually kind of, in a weird way, kind of makes it clear why that's in the story, because it's all kind of about like this idea of like how can you go about your life when you know that like when there's all this misinformation out there, basically.
Yeah.
And basically resolution, like the decision that Scott Free and Big Barda, or I guess just Scott Free because Big Barda doesn't know, comes to at the end of the series is he's just like, fuck it, I don't care. Mm-hmm. I don't care. I just want, I love the people I love in my life, and I want to spend my time with them, and I don't care about these, like, bigger goings on in the world.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. And that's what we're left with at the end. They're just...
I can see that.
Yeah.
So, my idea about this, I'm gonna ask, do you think Scott Free killed himself at the beginning of this series?
I don't think so.
Do you think he's dead? You don't think he's dead?
I think that is a red herring. Because I don't think the series... I think that what the mystery of what's happening in this series is beside the point.
Okay.
But...
Understandable. So, I think the main reveal of what happened in this issue, and what I really like, is, I don't know, all of this has led me to believe that he's been seeing projections of fallen people that are close to him, like this entire series. And I feel like that's the reason, like them telling him like some of these like fears that he has, like that it's fake, that it's hell, that it's heaven, that he's dead and everything like that. I feel like that's what's making him disconnected and depressed from the world. And I think that's been happening this entire series. And I when I was reading it, I thought that was the reveal. Because at the beginning here, I think it's written in a great way. At the beginning, the first shot we have of Scott is, well, other than him being burned to death, the first shot we have is him smiling completely in the shower light, good morning. And we haven't really seen that. And then he's like cleaning himself up as we have Granny, what we learned to be Granny Goodness, like telling him like giving him guilt for like putting the mirror in here and grief and stuff like that, and just bringing him down. And then he's trying to like, I'm gonna move it, it's okay. But he's like really sad after that and depressed, like we've seen him. And then every single other projection he sees is telling him something about like, you're in hell, you died, you decided to stay in hell, so that's where you are. Like, I feel like it's almost this self-talk thing that he's putting on these dead people. But, you know, it's everything that he's thinking and experiencing. And then, like, what is it? He thinks that Orion is this projection. He's saying, like, I'm disappointed in you. You stayed here. I don't blame you, but you might as well be dead. I just feel like all this talk from these other people are exactly what depression does. So I feel like these projections are what have been making him depressed this entire series, because he's, you know what I mean? Does that make sense at all?
I think that could definitely be a part of it. Like, for sure.
And then this last Allfather or Highfather? I always get those mixed up.
It's Highfather.
Highfather. Allfather is Marvel, right?
I don't know that that's anything.
Okay, never mind. Like this last, like, conversation he has with his dad, and he just punches him and says, fuck you. Like, I just feel like that's him kind of taking control, being like, no, I'm here, I'm gonna stay here, and that's that. That's everything. The main reason why I think this has been happening the whole time is because we already saw him talking to Oberyn in the first issue. Do you remember that?
Yep.
So he was talking to Oberyn. They were talking about some random stuff. I should go back and see exactly what they were talking about. But then Big Barda comes in and be like, Oberyn died like a month ago. Mm-hmm. He's not here. But we see him again here, and I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that's my clue into saying he's been seeing dead people this entire time as they've died. And they've been telling him like terrible things that would depress anyone, you know?
Yeah. In which case, like, the decision at the end of the series is just like that he's just kind of going to, like, he's kind of accepting his emotional instability and just kind of like, I'm going to try to live with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think so at least, but I also think like this little, cause on the last panel, we have that little TV, like, jig a little bit, the blurriness. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's to say that he's happy and that means he can like be free from everything. I don't know. Or maybe everything is not real and him accepting it is sort of letting it go. Or I don't know if the reveal is that Big Barda is also a projection of some sort. I don't know. But you're right. I don't know if it matters because it was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's...
And I heard that this last thing at the end, this will not be continued, was a thing from the original Mr. Miracle run.
What thing?
This thing at the very end, after the last panel, that says the Mr. Miracle series will not be continued. Its new and thrilling successor will soon be on sale. I heard that was a homage to how a previous Mr. Miracle series ended.
Oh, is that how, like, Jack Kirby's original Mr. Miracle series ended? Maybe?
I would think so. That would be the thing, because this whole thing has been a love letter to Jack Kirby. This whole series, really. Like, especially explaining, like, the fourth world, which was really, really cool to me. Because I remember talking about, like, why it was called the fourth world in one of the previous issues.
Yeah. I've been trying to find... I read an article or an interview with Tom King before this book started. Where he was talking about kind of what he wanted to do with this book. He said, blah, 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 blah. It's about this contemporary moment, not in terms of the politics, really, not I hate Trump or whatever, because that's boring. You can just read a Twitter feed and get better information. But in terms of this feeling we all have, this paranoia we all have, you wake up every day and you're not in the world you once thought it was. The rules that your parents taught you, the rules of life don't make sense anymore. And you get this feeling that you're just trapped here. Like you can't get out no matter what you do. You're stuck here. And what better person to talk about the feeling we all have being trapped in a place we don't understand than the god of escape. So it's kind of, I think this book has been kind of about like his, him like falling into this like, very conventional life with Big Barda and them having kids and just being parents with like, and like steady jobs basically in the form that they hate in the form of their role with the new gods, and like him having like an emotional kind of crisis around that, and like not knowing if that's what he wants, and in the end like he's like, yeah, no, I'm gonna settle because that makes me happy, and that's not a bad thing. Because I think what that reveal at the end of the last issue was him having this moment of like, oh my god, there's so much, this final kind of like temptation of like, there's so much I'm missing by settling down. There's this whole world out there that I'm not a part of because I'm here. And this is him saying, no, fuck that.
I don't give a shit.
I'm happy in my life, and I'm going to, like, throw myself fully into it, finally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. I like that. And it really, like, I think it really kind of explains why this is kind of in the real universe, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's more about the metaphor than the literalness of it, you know?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see like how people keep talking about it in the future, because it is very different compared to anything else that's out there.
Yeah,
so
for sure. It's
going to be interesting to see if like people like, I don't know, what kind of people still accept it as like a classic. Because I think it's a classic thing because it's terribly honest and amazingly just on point with how it presents the material, with how it presents the characters, and how it's just.
It's very, very personal, clearly, to both King and Garrett's.
Yeah.
They're both like Mr. I think it's very funny looking at looking at him before and after he shaves his beard in this, because it looked weird going back to him not having a beard in this, but like he had totally grown out. I don't know if you've seen what Mitch Gerrard's looks like, but that beard is Mitch Gerrard's. If you look on the first page here when he's doing his show, the bottom middle panel, other than the other celebrities that we have in here, the front two people are Tom King and Mitch Gerrard's.
Oh, I thought that whole thing was the League. Yeah. No,
well, I think it's more, there's a bunch of the League / Comedy Bang Bang related people.
Huh.
Are some of these other people from the League? Because I don't know the League. I do know Jason Mantzoukas and Paul Scheer are down in that panel.
Okay.
And they're from the League, right?
Yeah, and then and the one that's in the middle on the right, the people in the front two, I believe, are other people from the League.
They're Scott Aukerman and Adam Scott, I believe.
Oh, maybe not. I don't know.
So I think it's a lot of Comedy Bang Bang related people, because Jason Mantzoukas is a frequent guest on there, as well as Adam Scott. Scott Aukerman hosts it, and he's wearing a shirt from the show, one of their ongoing jokes.
Okay, that's good.
But then, anyways, Paul F. Tompkins is up in the top. I think that's Chelsea Peretti. I don't know who the back two people are in the.
Isn't the guy with the Doom Patrol thing supposed to be Nick Darrington? I don't know what he looks like.
Is it?
That's what someone said.
Is that like? I don't think the right guy is. I don't think that's Gerard Way. So that's definitely not.
Well,
so
Nick
I don't
Darrington's
know.
been doing the covers. I feel like it's another guy that's been on here. Like, is that Clayton Cowles?
Oh, maybe maybe it is. Maybe the middle people or maybe two of the people in each of these are comics related people, because I know the left middle is going left to right, Dan DiDio and Jim Lee.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. See, I didn't know that. Dan drop the bass.
DiDio. But anyways.
By the way, this first page is just like terrifying. Like,
yeah, he just sets himself on fire.
God.
But I very much enjoy the panel of Tom King and Mitch Gerrard's just like looking on like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
But yeah, Mitch. Anyways, sidetracked. Mitch Gerrard's has basically Mr. Miracle's hair or beard from this series.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. How does that?
But
beard
like in that, it's like
mask?
It's a very like a very thick bushy beard and like a very like styled mustache.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know what else
this book
to say.
is so good.
It's been great. Yeah, I'm really sad that it's done, but like I think it didn't it didn't finish with a wet fart, and I'm really happy about that.
Also, I think this issue put up next to the cover of the first issue.
Oh yeah.
Is such a nice pairing.
I totally feel that, because you can see that, because it's the one where he's like tied up with all the machinery that's lying.
Yeah, it's basically the exact same stage setup, and all this machinery around at his feet on this cover was all the stuff that had him locked into this crazy death machine.
Yeah,
on the first cover, and so he has escaped, and all the audience is cheering and throwing roses at him as he holds hands with Big Bard. I think that's just like really mirrors kind of in the most boiled down way, kind of the arc of this series. And
I wish I had a covers from those beginning ones, because I don't.
Oh, do you not? Oh, you have the Mitch Gerrard's ones are also.
I think I might have a lot of the Mitch Gerrard ones. I think that's what I do.
They're also very great. I'm not going to complain about a Nick Darrington cover, because Nick Darrington is amazing also, but the Mitch Gerrard's ones are very good. Very
cool.
Yeah.
Should we move on? I know we're sad about this ending,
sure,
and we want to talk about it forever, but whatever.
Let's do it.
Doug, you read first Superman, and I've had stuff to say about this, because I don't know, it's been a lot of action, and I haven't had a lot of sort of tie into any sort of emotional thematic stuff as much. I loved this issue, though. I thought this issue was like the action that I like. And
yeah, it was a really good mix.
Yeah.
I would say.
My favorite part was Superman thinking, I can just, fuck everything up right now. I can just destroy everything.
That scene is so good.
It's so fucking tense. And he just like go through with him. It's like, oh yeah, it's the very end. God damn it. Yeah. He's just like, I can do this, but wait a minute. And then he looks past and he sees the fucking parents and he remembers this is kind of what being human is. I need to remember my roots. Ugh.
But it's that kind of moment that like really is when Bendis shines brightest on this book. It's just like he more than any other writer I've seen with Superman wants to give him those moments of weakness. And it's not to be like, oh, what if Superman went bad or whatever. It's just like, it's through this moment of weakness, it's both humanizing him, but also because he struggles with it and comes out the other side with the resolution of like, no, I have to be good. Like it shows that emphasizes how strong he is as a person. Like it's through showing his weakness, it shows actually how strong he is. And that's something that like, I don't know that you see really very often with Superman. Like you don't get the scene from like the beginning of this series where he got pissed and flew off into space and punched rocks for a while, under any writer other than Bendis. Like, because other people don't deem that to be like an efficient use of their storytelling time, but Bendis does, and that lends such a great sense of humanity to the character. Yeah, for sure.
And this art just capitalizes on it so well too, because I just think like the red getting higher, because red eyes really is a big part of showing evilness in Superman, isn't it?
I mean, it's definitely something that like when you're someone who's trying to like make Superman seem threatening or dark or whatever, using the laser eyes, his eyes like glowing red, is definitely a big tool that people use for sure.
And then I love it, like, when he's looking at his parents with the sunshine in the background. Like, it looks like it's just the dissipating look of the red, which once looked menacing, looks kind of beautiful dissipating away from his face in it with the sunlight in the background and his parents. It's great. And then to put that moment at the end where right afterwards Zod's gonna come in and just fucking destroy it is just like... Ah, shit. Like, God damn it. I forgot about Zod at that point, and I was like, oh, God damn it, it's Zod.
And also, I'm really curious. It seems, at least from how this issue starts, and like the language they're using, in combination with what the ongoing title, which of this arc, which hasn't up until now really made sense, like the connection between those things, seems to imply a larger involvement by Zod. Which I'm totally in for, because the beginning of this is basically Zod, who's he's from Krypton, from before it was destroyed, and he's like a radical militarist general who's been a villain of Superman for a long time. Anyways, he has a vision in the beginning of like, we've created a new Krypton, and we've unified all of the houses, the House of El, Superman's house, and my house, and the House of Kandor, and we've like built this beautiful new kind of like recreation of Krypton. And then it's a vision, and that's not a thing. But this arc is called the Unity Saga, and it has been, and I've been wondering why. And I think this is part of it. I think this is maybe why.
I definitely think so. It makes sense. And I think it's a great like thing, a goal to see, and I love that we got that this issue. Like, it just makes all this mean something.
Yeah, you know? I think positioning Zod as a potential hero or villain or whatever in this, like giving him a bigger role, maybe on the side of Superman, maybe against Superman, but both of them being against this other character of Rogol Zar makes we haven't been super sold on Rogol Zar as a villain. I feel like that's safe to say, but like I feel like that makes kind of the balance of the series a little stronger, that he's not the primary focus in that kind of way as a villain. I'm curious to see what Zod's role here is. Is it more as a villain? Is it as like an uncomfortable alliance? I mean, it seems like he wants to do something really noble here at the beginning, and I hope that is like, an ongoing kind of motivation for him, because that's really interesting.
Totally. It makes him almost very similar to a Black Adam kind of role. You know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of like that. He wants the best for his people, but he's not maybe necessarily always the best person to do.
Yeah. I do also, one of my favorite parts of this is, I love Rod Reese. Is this Riot Reese or Ivan Reese?
This is Ivan Reese.
I love him. I love both of them. I love Ivan Reese on this book. And I love the part where they have the shrunken earth and they slowly get bigger. And I think the scale of everything with their giant faces and bodies and stuff and them landing in these different places is so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's really well done. Like, Ivan Reese does big, crazy, conceptual superhero stuff better than most anyone out there.
Yeah.
Like, he can just take such a crazy, ridiculous, out there superhero concept like this, of like the earth is shrunk and is growing underneath them, and they're getting sucked down into it as it grows, and like draw the shit out of it so you know exactly what's happening throughout the whole thing, and really lend this sense of like gravitas to the whole thing. It's
totally
awesome. I love it.
It was what I was waiting for. I love that. I'm a big fan of this book. More so now.
Also, I'm sorry. I know you were trying to move on. I really fucking love this part where the earth like grows and the atom is there, and Zod shows up and he says, is that the Phantom Zone projector by your hand? And basically demands that he uses it on him. And then the Atom immediately just zaps him with it to go into the Phantom Zone. And then we get a few panels of the Atom and other characters just kind of standing there, kind of like, what the fuck just happened? And then it's like, you don't demand to be sent to the Phantom Zone. And then the Atom's like, that was the right thing to do, right? That had to have been the right thing to do. Like, he's just like it happened so quickly, and they're all just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a bad thing to send Zod back to the Phantom Zone, I guess, but he demanded to go.
Was he imprisoned there in continuity at this point, or no, at some point?
I think the implication here is that he was not in the beginning.
Okay.
I was a little confused by that when this happened, but I think the idea is that he is not in the Phantom Zone, and
I'm talking about in his just general character history in this continuity.
Oh, he has been definitely imprisoned in the Phantom Zone in the past, but he has not been. He's been out doing I remember him being promoted in other DC stuff recently. I think he was in a Green Lantern arc.
But yeah, I love that. I love that little moment, because it's just like, I mean, what are you supposed to say? He's demanding this one thing, but like, because he's demanding it, you think like, wait, wait, maybe I shouldn't do this. But like, also like, how could that go wrong? Like, we're imprisoning him in the Phantom Zone. Yeah.
You know? Like, that's...
I'm so excited. It's great. Great shit. Yeah.
Bendis. For sure.
Bendis.
Bendis.
He's coming. He came all over Superman.
Came all over DC.
Okay. Doug, let's move on to Cosmic Ghost Rider. The end of this series.
Yeah, a number of ends this week.
Very number of ends. That's why I was so...
very number of ends.
That's why it was so much, though. You know, Miracle, Cosmic Ghost Rider... Actually, that was it, wasn't it?
I think that was it. I was trying to excuse my my giant pile of comics to my girlfriend last night. I was like, this is my large pile of comics, but this one's ending, and this one's ending, and then I also thought there were more, and then I was like, I guess that's it for my excuse. Here we go.
I actually had 4 of an excuse, because we tried out a new series this week that called Bitter Roots.
Sure.
Do you want me to give you primary things, or do you want to not know what?
Yeah, no. Give me your vague.
And I know I just said I was going to go to Cosmic Ghost Rider, but just really quickly, 2 more that I was knowledgeable of might be at the end of them was Bitter Root #1, which I wasn't sure about. I just picked it up, and Fantastic Four, which I think I'm going to drop it. Yeah.
You think so? You weren't sold on Bitterroot, though?
I wasn't as sold on Bitterroot, but Samantha read it and she really liked it, so we're gonna keep getting it, I guess. And I'll read it, because I didn't hate it, I just didn't think it was good enough to warrant me getting another one or adding another series. But actually, the other one that was on... Well, actually, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, Bitterroot, it was good. I don't know. It didn't speak to me as much, but Samantha really, really liked it. So I'm going to keep reading it.
Okay. All right. Well, then I come out of this with kind of the exact same feelings about it as I did beforehand.
You are whelmed.
Which is good. I am very whelmed.
Okay, but Cosmic Ghost Rider, Doug. Tell me about what you think about Cosmic Ghost Rider.
So yeah, this is the end of this book. And it's, Cosmic Ghost Rider is a character that Donny Cates created along with Jeff Shaw for their Thanos series, and of course this series has dovetailed back into having a lot of Thanos.
By the way,
content in
if you're still here from the beginning, waiting for us to announce the contest winner, don't listen to this part, because this is ramifications of that.
I mean, unless they've already read it
and you just want it. Do people get trades of things they already have issues of or have already read?
Yeah, sure. You can trade for a trade, or just get the trades so that you can not have to get out the issues. About that. Do you trade? Is that why it's called trade, that you trade your issues in? I have actually no idea. I just said that just to be clever.
I feel like that would be a thing, but I don't get why it would be a thing, because the issues are more expensive.
But it's nicer to have a book. So okay, I don't know.
Whatever. Cosmic Ghost Rider. Let's talk about the shit. So this is awesome. It's great. And Donny Cates. So go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no. But I mean, yeah, we got the wrap up from this. Basically, we're in an alternate timeline where this future version of the Punisher, who is Cosmic Ghost Rider, went back in time to try to stop Thanos from becoming evil, and in the process made Thanos into the Punisher. And they're having a big fight here where he's kind of rejecting that. Cosmic Ghost Rider is. And at the end, he's just like, I guess I have to put you back, because he has a baby Thanos, which is how he was trying to change the past. And yeah, so we leave him with bringing the baby back, and then he has an exchange with Death, who's like, you can't, basically, like, I've marked him, like, you can't change his destiny, like, that's set in stone.
I love that appearance, by the way. I haven't seen a lot of Death, but I think this was so cool. Like, she says, well, someone had to teach the boy to kill. He's like, fuck.
Yeah, Donny Cates writes a very snarky Death. I remember that sort of from her other appearance.
Thanos.
Thanos.
Yeah. But I think it wrapped up really, really nicely. Like, I guess the takeaway is that, he doesn't want to be, like, this whole series has been about him, like, saying that he doesn't want to be just, like, killing everyone all the time, even though he can. And kind of the wrap up is that he was holding back a lot, and that's why he wasn't able to defeat. I don't know kind of what the takeaway is. Like, is the idea that he was, like, the reason he was able to be in prison in the future is because he was holding back, and now he's, like, sort of defeating what was going to enslave him now? You know what I mean?
I think it was just that, like, he had given into, like, this idea that, like, I'm a bad person, and so I have to do bad things. And so he kind of gave himself into service of Thanos. And this is him finally going like, no, like, I don't want this. And I'm going to forge my own path. Because part of this series was, like, about him trying to avoid that by, like, fixing Thanos. But this is also him kind of realizing that, like, ultimately, like, the problem is in me. And I'm going to move on and try to be a good person myself, because that's where the issue is. I think that's what the end is, which makes sense why they give a little teaser at the end here that he's going to return in Guardians of the Galaxy. So that kind of, like, fits with that arc, I think, for sure. That he's going to try to be good now.
Definitely. Okay, that makes sense. I'm really so excited to see him in Guardians of the Galaxy. I just hope that he's not like, he's gonna be really powerful.
Yeah, I mean, but also, like, this team that they teased has a lot of very powerful
Yeah, just in this picture, we already went over this. Yeah, there's just like Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer, we got
Adam Warlock is really powerful, right?
Adam Warlock is on here. Who's like looks like his original appearance Groot. Have you ever seen him in picture?
Yeah, we talked about this already.
Yeah, okay. I thought we had.
Also,
but yeah, it's just like it's a very powerful Guardians.
Definitely. And also, I just realized this lady that we didn't know who it was, Phyla-Vell, she's probably a Kree person, right?
Are you saying that?
No, because she has Vel in her name, and that Marvel.
Oh, yeah, probably that makes sense. Which one? Which one is that?
Blue one. What do you mean?
Is it the blue one? I wasn't sure.
She has a star under her.
She does have a star symbol on her chest. Yeah, maybe she is. Yeah, she's probably related to Marvel then, who was the original Captain Marvel.
But the phylum is a body part.
It is, or a. Nope, I'm going to not try to say science things. A phylum is it's a like a wing, like it's like a branch or of like the tree of
life. Okay. Do you have anything else to say about Cosmic Ghost Rider, or do you want to go on to our next book?
No, I don't know that I have much more to say about it. It was just like, it was a good conclusion. Like it continued kind of what was good about this series. It was a big action issue. There were a number of good, like, kind of character moments in it. I really like the moment, because he's in this alternate future thing. And he had previously dispatched a Cable who had come back, and Hope, his daughter or something. It's another future member of the Cyclops family, like Cable is. Anyways, she comes up to him and says, "My name is Hope. Is Cable with you?" And he's just like, "He'll be along soon, honey. He got kind of tied up."
Yeah, it's so sad. But hey, he's trying to do the right thing. You know, Cable was attacking him, so what can you really do?
Yeah.
Was he dead? Did he actually die? I don't know if he did.
I think he died. They did that battle where he like kept going back and like was like aging a ton every time. I'm pretty sure he.
Just remember the last thing was like, oh, he's so much worse. The Thanos, that was in issue 3. Like, he's so much worse, and he was alive at least at the end. I don't know if like right after that he died from Thanos killing him or something, or
I don't recall the specifics. Okay, that was a while
ago.
But
this series I think has been awesome and a great continuation of what was great about Thanos Wins. Well, not necessarily what was great about Thanos Wins. Like, it's different, but it's just been great, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you like that character in that series, this is a much deeper delve into him, and I'm definitely excited to see kind of the continuation of some of those ideas in the small bits of him we'll probably get in Guardians.
Okay, so let's talk about this monster of an issue of Avengers.
Woof! It is.
Yes,
big.
And I know that we were trying to use your time in reading as well as possible, but I thought this was necessary because it.
So you gave me, sorry, real quick. You gave me that list of priorities, and I was like, should I skip that one because it's so big, and I could probably read like 3 issues in the time it takes to read this, and we could talk about more. But then I was like, but Jack hasn't really liked this book, and it was like second or third on your list to read. And so I was so curious. I was like, I have to know what Jack has to say about this.
Yes. Because yes, I've been very, very back and forth on this series, and this issue did not help. Well, it helped in the plus side a little bit, but it really didn't help, because like I really, really enjoyed this stuff, like starting out in Russia and getting together this big barren shit. It's awesome. It's fucking cool. And like I loved like their like them gathering the team together and like the mystery surrounding that, and I want that to be a focus. But what I didn't like all that much is like I don't know, this Defenders of the Deep action scene, like without all the other stuff, I didn't like that part all that much.
It was just pages and pages of like people punching each other without like really much dramatic much in the way of dramatic turns. We had the arrival of the winter, what are they called?
The Winter Guard, I believe.
The Winter Guard, which is the Russian kind of analog for the Avengers. And that was like a big turn, but otherwise, like, I don't know, like they punched each other.
Yeah, but like the couple pages before that, sort of just punching at each other starts when they're like getting all the Avengers from like where they are in different places.
Yeah. There's awesome. There's a very long kind of like every member of the team getting the signal to kind of assemble. We get like a couple pages with each kind of character or group of characters, and like that was really good.
I thought it was awesome, and it ties me in really well to like all their separate little things that are going on, especially the setup from the Captain America Thaddeus Ross thing that we get the payoff to at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, the action stuff though is just them punching each other.
I don't know. It's just like it's very straightforward. The action stuff in a way that's like it's just not super interesting. And every time this series slows down, I love it. Every time we get back to the character stuff, I'm like, oh wow, yeah, Jason, this is what I wanted from a Jason Aaron Avengers book. Because he does character work really well. But like there hasn't been enough of that in this series. I feel like there was a bigger balance of that in this issue.
Yeah, definitely.
But
and like the couple pages where they're just punching each other, I don't like. The Winter Guard shows up then, and then we have this like page where there are a bunch of vertical panels, where we're getting the action on screen, but the words are of the Red Widow talking, like reporting to some mysterious person about what's going down and everything that she sees and observes. Like, I loved that too, because I like the action kind of taking a little background and us like getting like, what are you seeing during this? What do you expect? A brawl. It's just whatever. But that's also makes me feel like it's just like self-aware. But then he just did a brawl like for the whole 5 pages before that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just a little bit of a mixed bag. But but the stuff that I liked in this issue, I really did like. And I love a lot of the stuff that they're doing around kind of how they're repositioning kind of the status quo of the Avengers, like them being like non-government affiliated in any way and like trying to solidify that. I love just some of the kind of new trappings around them, like their Avengers Tower or Avengers Mountain, which is an old celestial that they live in. Yeah. And I love that their butler is Gorilla Man now, which is not a character I think I've seen him before, but I'm not really familiar with him.
It's just a Gorilla Man.
He's just a Gorilla Man. And then we get, the reveal that Agent Coulson, who apparently this is some sort of reveal that I'm getting the impression he must have been dead or something. But because that General Ross says a weird line about it. But anyway, he has assembled the Squadron Supreme of America again.
Which looks great. I'm so excited.
Which, if you didn't gather from just looking at them, are Marvel's Justice League.
Totally. Yes. I can see that for sure. We got Wonder Woman, Superman in the front, and Batman in the front. I don't know, is the Flash supposed to be the guy with the 2 little lightning bolts, I guess, coming out?
I think... I can't remember without seeing like their whole costume, because I'm not super familiar with them other than kind of the basic concept. I tried reading a book with them a while back, didn't take.
Okay.
But I am familiar with them. Yeah, I like the idea.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see them go to see like what it means for them not to be American anymore. And I mean, it could be bickering. I hope it's not a lot of bickering, but there was some bickering at the end of this one with the Winter Guard. So. We'll see. But I really like this. And what I really, really liked, Fraser Irving's story about Robbie Reyes and Odin, like having a night out of town kind of thing, I thought was so great. And I love this fucking art.
Yeah. I was something I keep meaning. This isn't the best example of it. I mean, it does happen in it, but wasn't as annoying as normal. But something that's really annoyed me in this series in general.
Yeah.
Have you noticed this? The only character who gets thought bubbles in this series is Ghost Rider.
I never thought about that.
It's only him, because I noticed it after the second issue, I think, and then it's been consistent in every single issue. No one else gets thought bubbles. Only Ghost Rider. And it's all just like exposition stuff. It's always just like kind of explaining like his motivations and stuff. But like, I'm just so curious why. I'm wondering if that's like some sort of holdover from like that being a prominent thing in his past series or something. Or like what that is. Because why him and why only him?
I mean, there are no thought bubbles in the first part of this, but in this one,
there's no thought bubbles for any other characters. I don't think they had him have any thought bubbles in the main story, but like other issues, he like at every other issue, I'm fairly sure he has multiple thought bubbles in. And I'm just curious why.
I'm keeping an eye out for that.
Because they're just exposition and they kind of annoy me. I'm just like, just remove that. Just remove that little bit of, I don't need it.
Yeah. I don't know, but I like the character, and I love this story they had with Odin about him holding back and stuff, and him growing into his, like, I guess I didn't know much about him as Ghost Rider anyways, and I learned a lot, and I think big fan.
Is very useful, this little bit here. Yeah, not knowing a ton about Robbie Reyes as a character. Kind of, it gives you the information without being like shoving it in your face, you know?
Yeah.
It's just kind of organic and kind of gives you a little bit of character work. And then puts two characters together that you'd never expect to kind of interact.
Oh, totally. And then at the end of that story, I turn the page and I start reading, and it is so... This is one of my favorite things I've read in comics.
Oh?
These few pages that I've just recently figured out are Andrea Sorrentino from Gideon Falls.
You're okay, so we're skipping over that. I thought you meant the Loki stuff, and I was like...
I am talking about the Loki stuff. That's Andrea Sorrentino.
No. That's Andy Kubert. Andrea Sorrentino is the last bit at the very end.
Oh, okay. Really? I thought it was Andrea Oh, that makes sense, because it looks more like...
It looks like what Andrea Sorrentino art looks like. Okay,
no. This Loki shit was so cool. The reason I thought it was Andrea Sorrentino is because the panel structure is done so fucking well.
It's really cool.
Like, lead you... I just thought, when I opened it, I didn't, like, really look at the whole page at first. I just looked at where I was supposed to. And I, like, followed the little boxes with this. So then when I got to, like, turning the page to vertical, it was so fucking cool and, like, overwhelmingly big, these celestials and everything. Yeah. And I loved that. I thought it was such a cool effect. I don't know. Maybe I'm just more excited about it, because I just feel like this, like, led my eyes in a way that made it, like, I don't know, really, really just hit me hard. This image, this huge image.
It's a fun gimmick that when people do this, when they do the, like, leading you to turn a page. I think they did something like that in Eternity Girl. There's a really cool moment in what was it?
I don't remember.
I think there was one in Pax Americana that did that.
Oh, there is.
Page.
Yes,
that's really cool. That's like a sequence of Peacemaker on a flight of stairs, or Peacemaker. I don't remember. It's a character in that book. Anyways,
definitely. No, I agree. But I just loved this. I thought it was really, really cool, and I thought using, like, their gigantic bodies, like, going over this whole page was just such a great effect.
Yeah, they made very good use of the vertical space on these pages, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then I love the reveal of Wolverine. Then do you remember when I was telling you I read the first issue of Jason Aaron's Thor?
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I've heard that they've been doing a story with a Wolverine with the Phoenix Force in that. So I assume this is related to that.
So, okay, another reason why I wanted to talk about this is, like, they're setting up this event that they just that they just talked about, War of the Realms.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess this is all for that. It's including this Phoenix Wolverine and like these Starbrand hands and everything, right? Mm-hmm. I'm looking at this page with all the flames and everything around.
I'm also looking at it.
And that's another thing that's like leading me to think like maybe I shouldn't read this series because I don't know if I care about that part of it.
I don't know. This page made me kind of pumped. Like just like seeing all this crazy shit, like Moon Knight with all these mummies, and like Man-Thing has Thor's old hammer. Like, how did he...
Man-Thing? I couldn't find Man-Thing in here.
On the right side, he's holding Thor's hammer, and he has Iron Man's helmet.
Oh yeah, wow.
And then, the Punisher is in like this medieval armor. Like, it just looks really fun.
Yeah, I guess I didn't look at the specifics as much, but I don't know. I'm interested to see how Phoenix Wolverine is going to delve into this, because he's like from the future. Like, I don't know why he cares.
Yep.
But whatever. Yep. This last thing by Antonio Sorrentino was great, and I've not read the reveal being that Blade is going to be in Avengers. I've not read anything with Blade, so what do you think about this?
I'm excited. I also have not read much with Blade in comics, and I am excited to get some cool Blade shit in there, because I hope that means more monsters. I like monsters.
That'd be pretty nice. But overall, like, I really liked this issue. I hope that it stays at this level, because this seemed to be very special, this issue, you know?
Yeah, it definitely it was a lot more of what I wanted and was hoping for from this series than the previous issues, for sure. Like, I thought the last issue or two was, like, definitely a step in the right direction. This seemed like a bigger step, and I hope that it keeps it up, and kind of tries to find a bit more of a balance in the action scenes, but, like, overall, like, the book as a whole was a much better balance, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, totally. Okay. You didn't read anything else, yes?
No, unfortunately. I have so many books to read, and I've not gotten to... I've barely read any of them.
I got you. Well, we have a little bit less next week. I'm getting up my list right now. Mm-hmm. We have still loading, a lot of books that are going to be great. When does Shazam come out? I thought that was going to be next week, but it's not.
I'm guessing beginning of December, maybe end of. Let me see if I can.
It's supposed to be November.
Find it here. It says November 21st.
That's next week.
Is it next week?
That is next week. Oh shit!
Okay.
I need to put that on my list. Okay, but other than that, we have Black Hammer: Age of Doom, which is fun. Mm-hmm. That's another Tommaso illustrated one. So I don't know. I guess they're gonna do more with Colonel Weird. We'll see.
I would be surprised if they did another issue after this one. This feels like it's going to be a short arc, but I could be wrong.
Who knows? Then we have Cover by Brian Michael Bendis. Should be fun. Immortal Hulk. Is that twice monthly then? It must be.
I think it is.
I think
crazy. It has been. We're on issue number 9. We should know that. God, why is it $4 and twice monthly?
Everything's going to be $4. I feel like nothing is $3 anymore.
Yeah. I didn't realize my cat was in this room with me. She's been trapped. Okay.
Oh, jeez. But we have Justice League Dark after the Witching Hour. Then we have...
I'm curious to see where that's going to go now after
I know.
That.
With Circe.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We got Marvel Knights, which I'm really excited to see the continuation of, by Rosenberg, is going to be scripting this one, I guess.
I think, and Donny Cates is like... I don't know what you would technically... They said show running, so I assume that means he's basically like co-plotting this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then we also have by Donny Cates Web of Venom, Carnage Born, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, I'm very curious what this is. I know Carnage is in it.
Yes, definitely. And this issue of Venom was really, really great too, so I'm really excited for you to read that.
Yeah.
Whispering Dark as well, number 2 is coming out. Are you going to read that?
Nah.
Okay.
I'm skipping it. I have too many books. I need to cut back. I keep picking up new series.
There's another one, a new series that's coming out next week that I really want to try out. It's called Night Moves. I'm going to flip through it. It's I don't know any of the writers. Chris Burnham is doing art or something, or the covers. The cover looks really cool. It's
Burnham is doing art on it?
I don't know. I just saw his name, and I think it might be just covers.
It's called Night Moves?
Yeah, it's like... It looks like it's like a noir-focused like horror story that's like taking place in like Las Vegas.
Burnham is just the cover artist.
Okay. Doesn't that cover look really cool though? It
does look really cool. I like Chris Burnham. Tangled web of danger and the occult in Las Vegas. Sure.
I don't know. I'm really pumped, but I assume you don't want to get it, right?
I don't think I can spare another new series. Because there's more new series coming out as this month goes on. I'm noticing more and more.
I know. And Shazam, I guess, is coming out next week, so we'll see.
Yeah.
In any case, let's talk about our contest, Doug. We gotta announce our winner.
Cool. So people had to both follow our page on either Facebook or Twitter. Most of the entries came from Twitter. And then share the original contest post, and then you would be entered to win a copy of Thanos Wins by Donnie Cates and Jeff Shaw, Antonia Fabella. And we are going to announce who the winner is now. So, Jack, you want to tell the folks who we have selected at random?
Michael Hersing, whoever you are. Well, you're Michael Hersing. So that's your name.
I assume his name.
That's his name, at least on Twitter. And we're going to send you the book, Michael. Mike, who knows? Yeah. Some people don't like being called Mike, actually.
Yeah. So we'll message you on Twitter, because that's the contact we have there. And we'll get your information, and we will send that book off to you. So congrats.
Yes, we hope that you read it forever and ever, over and over again.
Oh my God. The only thing you'll ever read from now on. I mean, that's what you would do if you truly want to honor this show and
of course
respect it.
Yeah, because it necessitates respect. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're really excited that we get to send that out to you. So have fun. Go G. Willow Wilson, you know? Yeah,
and again, thanks to anyone who's been listening for the past 51 issues now, and the past year. Issues? We could call them issues.
Whatever.
That's kind of cheesy. But anyway, the last 51 episodes and the last year of this show, it's been really fun, and I hope it has been fun for anybody listening.
Definitely. And we're excited for anything that's going to come up in the near future. Mm-hmm. But in any case, quick word. Tell me about, is Ms. Marvel and Captain Marvel the same thing? Are they?
Well, the current Captain Marvel used to be a character named Ms. Marvel.
Okay.
And so the current Ms. Marvel is the new version of that. She is a girl named Kamala Khan. She is an Inhuman and has stretchy powers.
Okay.
And she is very cool, and she's her book is a really good all ages book at Marvel that's really enjoyable. My girlfriend really likes that character. Has a bunch of trades. One of the few comic books I've been able to get her to read.
Oh, that's nice.
And I've read a few of them, and they're really fun. I like that character. So that's why I picked up this new Wonder Woman book. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. I'm glad I know that. But that's going to about do it for this week. We're glad you have made it this far with us, if you're here still. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it, and we're new still in our baby stages. We're just a toddler now. 1-year-olds, they're babies still, not toddlers, right?
What is the cutoff? Is there a point at which you're just a toddler?
I don't know. I feel like when you're walking around and fucking shit up, you're a toddler.
Yeah. Yeah, we are definitely a small child who is just rampaging around, fucking shit up, just toppling everything over.
I mean, we could become an anarchist podcast. Who knows?
An anarchist baby.
I like it. In any case, the absolute biggest thing you can do for us, if you like the show, is give us a review or star rating on iTunes. It would be very appreciated. And if you enjoyed what you heard, let someone know about us. Wouldn't that be great? with your mouth or with your mouse. We release. I always try and say we realize instead of we realize
we're every week, but you still should listen to it.
Yes, we release episodes weekly on Sundays, so check back next week, or you can subscribe on any number of podcast apps, and you'll never have to think about it.
And those podcast apps we are on are iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, Google Play Music. We're also on Spotify. So whatever app you prefer, we've got you covered.
Yeah.
In the meantime, before next week, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook. That's at Comics Covered on Twitter and Facebook.com/Comics Covered. You can also find web archives of all our episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN.com. And on our YouTube channel. So check those out. If you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message on social media or our email, comicscovered@gmail.com. So thanks again for listening. It's been a great year of the show. We're excited for the coming one. So,
yeah.
We're not sure what we're going to do here for any kind of end of the year wrap up stuff next month, but I think we're in the planning stages now. So, we're
workshopping it.
We're workshopping some stuff. So we'll hopefully have some sort of announcement about end of the year content coming in the next month or so here. So,
yeah.
Thanks again for listening. I'm Doug.
I'm Calendar Man, and I deem this a wonderful holiday.
I am Calendar Man, and as an expert, I deem this exactly 1 year.
Yes! This has been Comics Covered.
Thanks, y'all.